Hello everyone. So today I wanted to talk about when to use validator and when to use conditions in Jira. So I was actually working on a very interesting problem, and that problem was all about asking the user to fill in some information, or not just information, but it could be basically any other condition or restriction that you want to add in your process. For example, maybe in your bug resolution, as part of your bug resolution process, you have a requirement where you want to fill in a field, right? It's a very simple thing. Now there are two things that you can do mainly. One thing that you can do is you can basically use a condition where you can hide the transition completely. So for example, if the field that you want the user to fill in is not filled in, then you can hide the transition, which is of course great, because if you don't really have that field filled in, then you are making sure that there is no transition available. But the problem with this approach is that you need to train people. You need to tell everyone that whenever you're trying to resolve something, make sure you fill in this field. So definitely you can use a condition and it will work, but sometimes you have to also rely on the tool. And when you're relying on a tool, you can actually make it a bit more user friendly. For example, you can have a transition screen, and in the transition screen you can have that field that you want user to fill in, and when you're using a validator, the transition will be visible. So the resolve button or the transition, basically the option to resolve the issue, the bug in this case, will be there for the user to click on. But when they click on it, in the transition screen, you can display a message that this particular field is required, and fill it in. Now, sometimes people don't really add a transition screen. When you don't really have a transition screen, what will happen is Jira will still throw like an error in a pop-up where the message that you want to display. So in your validator, in your script validator, you can actually throw an error message which will be displayed to the user, which I think will work. But I think from my experience, if you're using a validator, then also use a transition screen along with it, so that the user can not only see the error message, but they can also see that particular field where they can fill in, or where they can basically provide the info. Now, sometimes using a condition is also useful, but in most cases, when you add a condition, then you also have to train